Okay. So Scrum is having different roles. In Scrum team, product owner is there, Scrum master along with the Scrum team is there. And the thing is that the Scrum is like it's having multiple iteration. It's not the thing. We are doing little of everything many times, right? That is the beauty of Scrum. We have already discussed that many times. So the estimation is something when you are sitting for the planning, and if somebody asks you ki, just give me how much days or how much hours you require to complete this particular sprint. Okay, if somebody asks you, or somebody asks you, if customer demands you ki, to complete this project, how many days you require, how many hours you require to complete this project, and depending on that, okay, depending on that, your cost estimation will be there. Like you will, once you're having the hours required to complete the project, so the next point you can have ki, per hours you are giving, like if you're having some employees who are working for you 5 days, and every day they are just working 8 days, 8 hours, so how much salaries you are supposed to give to that person. So depending on that, how many employees you require to complete that particular product, how much salary you have to give them. So according to that, after like your project cost estimation will be there. So these all are the dependent things. Okay, so this is the thing, like estimating the the efforts required to complete that particular sprint is very 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 necessary. You can imagine, because all the things are dependent on the schedule, the deadline on which you will be releasing your complete product, the cost at which, okay, budget, okay, it is depending on this estimation. You can imagine, if what if the estimation went wrong, okay, and this is the responsibilities on to freeze this, to finalize this is the responsibility is on the product owner's shoulder, and it will be taken place into the planning phase. When he is sitting in the planning phase, he is doing the planning. Project manager, these are the project management activities. Okay, you need to estimate how many days, hours it required to get complete. Depending on hours, you will be calculating the cost associated with that project product, and then the deadline, okay, the final date on which you are supposed to release that product. And already we have discussed key, if something unfortunately the product owner is, maybe it is a new he is not experienced guy, and he recently take the charge of the product ownership, right? And something like went wrong, and he did the estimation wrong. Okay, उसने क्या किया, थोड़ा उसके you can imagine एक दो features बाकी रह गए. He was not like he has not mentioned in the product backlog list, वो miss out हो गए. Customer has already told that, but he missed out somehow, and that was not there in the product backlog list, so it will not get implemented, not even estimated. So estimation, total estimation will get wrong, and at the end when it was about to deliver the product, the like all the planning was done on this date, like within a month we will be delivering this project at this cost. And when it's about the day on which you are delivering the software, the customer raise a query, this is the missing things which I have already told to the product owner at the beginning. So then he will recall ki, yes, it was my mistake. I did, like while I was sitting for the planning and like putting the product stories in the backlog, I have miss out somehow. And now what to do? Okay, everything will be on the shoulder of the product owner, right? And if estimation went wrong, again, that is not a very good sign. Like if you are saying that this project to get complete, okay, if product owner is stamping that thing ki it's required say 1 month, okay, so what if something like estimation went wrong, and unfortunately the product completion required say 1.5 months, so who will bear that cost of extra 15 days? So that way the estimation is really, and not like in terms of only delaying the product, okay, in terms of bearing the cost. Okay, दोनों चीजें affect होगी, your schedule and the budget will get affected for the for the wrong estimation. So estimation is something which is very important and which is very crucial parameters of overall project management, I must say, right? क्योंकि like when you are thinking towards like competitive environment, right? If some features you are looking for like if in the products, like you can see nowadays due to pandemic, huge competition we have observed, we have witnessed between the this Google Meet, Zoom, and the WebEx. Okay, and you know, like with this example, you will be agree with me ki, the time is something like to if you want to capture the market, time is the thing which you have to uh, consider as an important aspect. If you are getting your product is getting delay by your competitor, then definitely you will be losing the market. So it is something like uh, it has to be there, like on which date you will be able to complete that feature, you will be able to come up with that features. That is something you are doing at the beginning, not at the end, not in the flow. At the beginning, when you are sitting for the plan, you will be imagining, let's say with this feature, Google will sit and think what different features, looking at the pandemic, they have to come up with the Google Meet kind of platform, right? Or Jamboard. Okay, lot of products they are having, and the time is the thing which they have to taken into consideration. After pandemic, if they plan ki 1 hour we will work on the sorry 1 year on, after 1 year we will be working on these features. No, like market will get captured by the Zoom and the WebEx. So time is planning may you have to be very perfect in the time as well as the cost associated with that. So that is the thing, like in flow we have seen product owner has a communication phase, and he has sit with the stakeholder and write the epic here. Then epic co, he has to break down into the stories, and every story we are calling as a feature, and that feature, that product stories has to get prioritized, and that we are going to put into the product backlog. And once product backlog is done, okay, half of the like uska kaam ho gaya, product owner ka kaam like major role is done. The next task is कि ये किसको implement करना, who has to implement the stories, the who is responsible for implementing the stories. It's a scrum teams, right? Scrum team along with the scrum master is responsible to clear out that backlog. So here the freedom is given to estimate, okay, because unko implement karna ground level pe, they have to work. So in this particular scrum, we are asking scrum to estimate the stories, and it is like this planning poker is one activity, it is one technique with which the scrum team is going to estimate the stories, how much hours it is requiring to complete the particular story. So now we are going to discuss that planning poker activity. So planning poker is agile planning and estimation technique, and it is consensus based technique used to estimate the product backlog by agile team worldwide. Okay, consensus based, what do you mean by consensus based? Simple example I will tell you. If I ask you ki, you need to come up with the consensus ki whether we will be continuing lecture or we have to stop the lecture. So we will go with the consensus. We will take the opinion of everyone, and we will go with the, like if everyone in the your class is agree that we have to stop the lecture, we will be stopping the lecture. That is the consensus. And if like few of the member are on the opinion we have to continue the lecture, then we have to continue the lecture. That is particular thing is called as consensus. When you have to conclude with your decision, come with your decision, the consensus mechanism is used. So when you are doing the estimation, here we are just using the consensus based technique. Okay, planning poker is done with the story point, ideal days, or any estimation unit. Okay, story points, this is we have discussed already, like every story is having story point. What do you mean the story point? Story point is nothing but the time required to complete that particular story. Okay, And this planning poker will give you that the duration that hours the particular story needs to get completed. To estimate the product backlog, or a customer or product owner reads the user stories or describe the features of the product to estimator. So who all are the estimator in this case? So who all are estimator in this case? So this Scrum team is estimator of this particular year, right? So the thing, how the estimation, this planning poker will start with. Here, the product owner will first read. Okay, we are going to estimate which story. So he will read the story first in front of estimator, and stories in the sense feature. Okay, he will read the features in front of estimator, in front of Scrum team. Then planning poker technique was first, like planning poker is a technique for sizing PBI. So what is the full form of PBIs? Product backlog items, right? So product backlog item is nothing but stories. Sizing in the sense estimation कि उसको like how much it is, this particular story is large, small, or it is very small, it is very big. That way we are just concluding that this story is very big, this story is very large, excel, that way. And how much hours it required to complete. Planning poker technique was first described by James Graining in 2002, right? And then popularized by Mike Cohen in 2006. Okay. And here are a few important things which we are going to discuss. So planning poker is something which is common base, expert opinion, intense discussion, relative sizing, accurate grouping, and leverage estimation, estimating history. Okay, sorry, consensus base. It's my mistake. It's a consensus base. Okay, so planning poker concept. Okay, ये planning poker करना है, estimation करना है. Estimation is done by your team itself, right? Sprint team itself. So it can be a consensus. If everyone is agreed to particular number, particular decision, we will finalize that particular decision. If everyone saying that for these stories, 8 hours is sufficient. Okay. So if everybody is agree on 8 hours, we will conclude that this particular stories require 8 hours to get complete. That is the estimation. This is the consensus. Then expert opinion, like in the team, whoever is the expert, we will ask him to just give the estimation. Okay, we will go with the expert opinion. Intense discussion, we will discuss in the group intensely, and then we will like come up with the decision. Relative sizing, that we are going to discuss, and accurate grouping and leverage estimation history. So these are the various things with which we can think of doing the estimation. So planning poker technique, estimate the efforts, that already I have told you. क्या करता है ये? This is going to estimate the efforts, and in the activity the expert engage in the decision on the product backlog items to reveal the assumption, gaining a share understanding, and sizing the PBI. It's very important. Okay, this is very important. You can just this activity क्या करता है ये? एक्सपर्ट. ओके, जो भी एक्सपर्ट है, मतलब वो स्टोरी का किसको, whoever is having a very good knowledge. ओके, वो क्या करेगा? जिसको भी अच्छा नॉलेज है, whoever is having very good knowledge. ओके, whoever is having very good knowledge, तो उनको हम इसमें इन्वॉल्व करेंगे, राइट? प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग आइटम में. एंड उनका क्या अजम्पशन है विद दिस स्टोरी? उनको क्या लगता है? इफ एनीवन इज ऑलरेडी वर्क ऑन द सिमिलर features for their previous project, so they are expert, so they can just reveal their assumption and will share understanding, like everyone in the group will come to know about this feature. this particular story in better manner, and then sizing the PBI. So accurate estimation, towards the accurate estimation we can reach. Okay. Then planning poker produce relative size estimates by grouping the similar size items. So now relative sizing, right? Whether it is relative in the sense of whatever backlog you are having in the product backlog, you are just comparing with uh, each other. Okay, that is called as relative. ये पहले like this product backlog is you are just relating it to the previous product backlog, and that way you are just comparing, grouping the things, right? So what is the estimation scale? You need scale for the same, right? So यहाँ पे estimation scale provides sequence of number to assign estimates for implementing plan and poker activity. So estimation scale is just sequence of number, and generally a team doesn't use all the numbers from the scale as the goal is not precise. Rather, a team supports scale of size with more numbers of little end of range and more broadly separate numbers at extensive end of the range. So Mike Cohen has proposed one scale based on Fibonacci sequence that you know 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 20, 40, and 100. And this is most frequently used scale in the Agile organization. Whoever are following the Agile, they are using this Fibonacci sequence to estimate the stories. Some teams use the scale which is based on the power of 2, like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. The team group groups the like size PBS together, and the same number is assigned to them while using the type of scale. So now we are going to like this, we are going to illustrate with the concept that is postman at the post office. Okay. The post person group the same area letters in the area wise boxes from close area to far area to aid the process of letter delivery. This we know, right? कैसे करते हैं grouping, कैसे करता है postman कि उसके like wherever the post office is there, उस location से nearby location में जो भी letters है he will group that letters together, and कैसे वो करेगा? far behind, close to far, ऐसे वो area wise sorting करेगा, grouping करेगा. So same way we can have the grouping of this stories, like the stories which require something called as least, like it is small in size, we will have that group. The one which require very high hours, okay, high estimation is there, that we will be grouping in the bigger group. And how roadmap will be that we will start with the smaller story first. So similarly, team member estimator discuss the PBI asking question to product owner. When all the features are discussed completely, is an estimator pick up one card to depict team members estimate. At the same time, all cards are then revealed to each other. If all the estimator choose the same story point, that will be final estimate to that story. And if not, team member discuss their estimate to come to a conclusion. जैसे now, कैसे होता है estimator, right? Who are estimator in Scrum? Scrum team is estimator, and who want that estimation? Product owner want that estimation, right? So product owner will first discuss the story feature for which the team has to give their estimation, and it's the scale. Okay, the scale will be given to them, like whether it can be a Fibonacci series or it can be the 2's power number. Okay, the scale will be in front of the estimator, in front of team. उनके पास और एक input है. What input they are having? The feature for which they need to give estimation, or the story. Okay. And everyone, like if they are having any question in mind, they are open to ask that question. They are open to clear out their doubt by the product owner before doing the estimation. And once their cloud, and they can have the discussion, okay, before start with the estimation in the team. And then at the same time, everyone has to choose one card. Okay, the card contain these numbers only. Fibonacci series के part 2 के series के, again we are going to see that numbers. And once they have picked up the card, like uh, it's a number कि ये story को कितना hours लगेगा to get it complete. So they will choose according to their opinion, judgment, and at the same time, the product owner will ask to reveal their all the cards at the same time. Then all the team members will reveal the card. And if everyone is like consensus is there, if everyone is just picking up the same card, then we will declare that this particular story, this require the story point of this particular story is this. But if the case is that if everyone is not is picking up the same card, so and the different opinion are there, then we will ask, okay, the one who has just scale that estimate that story at very high end, or one who has estimated at very low end, so both, okay, for both we will ask to justify their estimation, and then team will again give a thought on the same, right? And again we will ask the team to repeat this estimation activity, planning poker activity, and this activity is getting loop, okay, getting continue until the team members are not coming with the consensus, coming with the common card. Okay, so here the high and low story point estimator need to share their reason why they think that कि ये story को बहुत ज्यादा time लगने वाला, ये story को बहुत कम time लग, they need to give reason. After discussion, each team member again select an estimation card, and all the cards are again made open for all at the same time. At the same time is very important, and this process continues until the team reaches the consensus or the estimator comes to the point that agile estimating and planning of particular item needs to be postponed until additional information is required. There can be a chance of due to like few of the team member want some more information about this. Like it may be for the stories, the advanced technology and tools are required, which is not available in the market, or it's not available with the in the with the company, so we just can't uh, estimate that story at the moment. So that will be like we will postpone the story point decision for that particular story. So when should we hold a planning poker activity? What do you think when it should be, right? So most of the team holds in case of scrum we are talking about, right? Kab rakhna chahiye? So most of the team hold a planning poker activity soon after initial product backlog is composed, right? Once the product backlog, your product backlog is ready, so why not to have that? Okay, initial product backlog is ready, then you can just plan for this planning poker activity. This session is useful to create the initial estimate that will be useful in sizing the project. So yeah, this initial estimation of course will help the product owner, because like he will come to know कि ये पूरे project को how many like estimation will be done. Of course the scrum team will do the estimation for every small story and the product backlog items, but combining together will give you the idea of complete project in how many days, or uh, how many days, okay, you the project will get completed. So team finds planning poker activity very helpful for conducting agile estimating and planning session once per iteration. Okay, ये हर बार होता है, it is for iteration, right? Multiple iteration we are having. Why is planning poker is used? Why it is used? Planning poker activities is used to avoid the impact of other participants. If one number is spoken, it can be review as recommendation and impact other team members estimating. मतलब जैसे आप लोग बोल, like if you can imagine you are doing planning poker of your problem statement, you have ready with your stories, and you ask all four members are there in your team to do the planning poker activity. Product owner will read the stories, ये पूरा story build करने के लिए just you need to give a number. So 4 members will give you the estimation, but they will be having, everyone will be having their different thought, right? And when someone is saying, rating something different, very drastic difference is there, you all will be asking why you want to go with this high numbers, why you think that this stories require so much hours to get completed. So he will be explaining their mindset, their thought, and which definitely will impact on the team. Those like team might thought to imagine that or thought to think about the same, so that way it is helpful. Okay, so if one number is spoken, it can be review like it can be viewed as a recommendation and impact other team members estimation. So when next time you will be asking to to estimate the same, that the your friend, your team members recommendation will impact the same, right? You will not go with the previous estimation. You may think to change your estimation. So, and that leads to the perfection. And that is the same thing which we are, accuracy is something which we are demanding in the estimation. And we know what if the estimation went wrong, what difficulty we have to face. So, estimating correctly is very important. So, also planning poker compels individual to think freely, राइट, हमको वो फ्रीडम मिलता है, यू हैव टू थिंक इंडिविजुअली एंड प्रपोज देयर नंबर्स साइमल्टेनियसली, सबको एक साथ नंबर दिखाना है. And these activities accomplish when all team members reveals their card at the same time, right? And then the next question is who participate in this, right? Who participate in this? So Scrum Master, Product Owner, Development Team, participate in planning proper activity. And development team sizes the user story. But size कौन करेगा, मतलब estimation actual में कौन करेगा, जिसको implement करना है वही करेगा. So development team will estimate the user stories. How to play the planning proper. Now this activity you have to play in your practicals as well. Okay, आपके प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट के लिए यू नीड टू डू दिस. सो हाउ टू प्ले. सो ड्यूरिंग द एक्टिविटी क्या करना है, वन विल बी प्लेइंग द रोल ऑफ प्रोडक्ट ओनर. So product owner explain, present, clarify the product backlog item, because product backlog is something किसने किया है, product backlog is something which this product owner has created. तो वो उसको पता है उसने क्या डाला है, right? What different things he has put it in the inserted into the product backlog as per his understanding. So he has to explain to the Scrum team कि these are the product backlog items which we are supposed to clear out, which we are supposed to implement. So the Scrum Master coaches, okay, this is the thing, team leader, right? वो बताएगा, coach करेगा and helps team in carrying out the activity in the better way. Also, the SM continuously searches for individual who, by their body language or by their whiteness, appear to disagree and helps them engage better. ओके, स्क्रम मास्टर क्या करेगा, कंटिन्यूअसली प्लानिंग पोकर को ऑब्जर्व करेगा. अगर उसको लगता है, इफ ही फाउंड दैट कि इसमें से कुछ इंडिविजुअल है वो पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करने, बिकॉज इंडिविजुअल टीम वर्क इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन स्क्रम. ऑलरेडी वी डिस्कस मेनी टाइम्स, teamwork is very important. If your single member is not working and because of that if your sprint is getting delayed, instead of whatever reason it is, it may be all team is on the fire. Okay, all team has to answer why it is so. So you really, it's not acceptable that any one of your member is not working, right? It's the same way, like if you are responsible, you all are equally responsible for completion of that story. So why not to estimate it properly? Okay, आपने अगर बोल दिया कि हमको ये स्टोरी को करने के लिए we need 8 hours, okay, and you have said that, but afterward if something went wrong and you require to complete that story say 12 hours, so you are answerable for that 4 hours, right? Why the estimation went wrong, and the estimation is not like one of you have agree on, it's all you have agree on. So teamwork is very necessary and that is the responsibility of Scrum Master. Scrum Master ये estimation जब when the team is playing that estimation technique, that particular game, we can say. So the scrum master is continuously observing who is not involving in this activity by their body language, by their quietness, or who are disagree, and then he may help them to engage in this activity in better manner, right? Because estimating involvement of everyone is taking the responsibility, like by the team members equally is very important, and that is the here the role of the scrum master is. The development team generate the estimate collaboratively. Why collaboratively? Because everyone has to build the consensus, everyone has to come on, like they have to come on, they have to come on onto the common number, right? That's why it is a collaborative. It's not one. If maximum, again we are not going with the maximum. If maximum say that this number, we are not going with that. Everyone, right? Each development team member is given a set of planning poker cards. ऐसे cards रहते हैं. Again, this we are going to see half a 1 2 3 5 8 13 20 40 100 infinity question mark and pi. A common interpretation of number on the poker card is described in a table. So you can see here, card 0 indicates that the item is already done or it is too small or to give any size number to this. मतलब इसको कुछ estimation करने का जरूरत नहीं, ये बहुत छोटा काम है, right? The story which was there in the PB, in the product backlog, 1/2 मतलब is used to size small item. It's very small, like it will get clear very early. 1 2 3, it is used to size tiny items. 5 8 3 13 is used to size medium item. For many times size 13 would be a largest size of the items to schedule into a sprint. In this case, team may break 13 size item into small items as well. Then 2040 is something which is very large, right? Is used to size large item, example features or theme level stories. Then 100 is used either for very large features or an epic, okay, pure epic ke liye. And 00 is something indicates that item is too large to give any numbers on it. बहुत ही बड़ा है, right? So then question mark, right? What the question, if anyone is just picking up the question mark, what does it indicate? So it indicates that the team member doesn't understand the items and need to ask query to product owner. Some team members also use this card to challenge themselves for estimating the current items. Okay, question mark is something, if somebody from your team is picking a question mark, what does it indicate? Now at the moment we can just give the estimation because something is unclear and we want to clear it from the product backlog, product owner. And sometimes like question mark at the moment we can't estimate, but once we are starting on the project, first or second sprint is over, then we can come back and estimate this particular story, right? That way. Then in the planning poker through, it is acceptable not to estimate, but not to participate is not acceptable. So if any team member is not comfortable offering up an estimate, that doesn't mean they should back out from helping team members find a consensus estimate. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या है, infinity, okay, and this is the pi. यहाँ पे क्या है, I will check this. Okay, ये कौन सा card है? But the pi is something which indicate team member want to say, I am tired and hungry, I want to get some pie. Some organization use cup of tea instead of pie. This also indicate that team members can engage themselves for a limited period of time. At that point, team members really need a break to turn that discussion to efforts. Okay, break चाहिए, right? Or we just need a break. For that they will be using this pie card. And in planning poker, okay, planning poker is accepting the question mark, like I don't want to estimate right now, right? But participation, ये story को अभी estimate नहीं करेंगे, that is acceptable, but participate नहीं करना team, because in team each and everyone is very important, equally important. So If anyone is not participating, it's not acceptable in the planning paper, because when the consensus is there, consensus means all have to agree, right? So if any team member is not comfortable offering up any estimate, doesn't mean that they should back out from helping the team to find the consensus estimate. So ये नहीं हो सकता, right? Everyone has to contribute. Then planning poker rules. What are the different rules in the planning poker? So the rules for playing planning poker activities are as follows. The PO select PBI. Okay, PO in the sense product owner select the product backlog item which needs to be estimate and reads that to the team. Okay, वो read करेगा. The development team members carry out discussion on the selected items and ask pertinent questions to the PO. Okay, उसके related अगर question है तो team can ask to the PO. PO answer the queries. Each member secretly picks up the one card to represent his or her estimate. Okay, secretly. Once all estimation are done, these are exposed to all team members. If everyone select the same card, they do consensus, right? Okay. Once all estimation are done, these are exposed to all team members. If everyone select the same card, they do consensus, and that number becomes the PBI estimate. PBI estimate in the sense it is also called as a story point. If the estimates are not equal, तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? The estimator have a discussion to come up with common justification, or else the high or low story point estimator are asked to explain their estimate. They need to give the reason. After the discussion, they go back to step 4. Okay, step 4 is where we again team member have to pick up the card, and this we have to repeat till the consensus is reached. What do you mean by consensus? Everyone has to agree on the same number, that is the consensus, right? Does this activity add benefits in your childhood? Of course, yes, right? Planning poker activity play a major role in collaboration. Collaboration में help करता है, शुरू में ही in the planning before starting with actual development आपका team like they came to know क्या करना है और कितना इसमें effort डालना पड़ेगा, right? That is very beautiful. The activity brings various team members together to arrive at the consensus on an accurate estimate than individual could fabricate alone. Okay, than any individual could fabricate alone. It is very difficult. Ideally, what should be there? Ki product owner should give this estimation, but that is not the correct way. Okay, so yeah, all team members, if they are together coming on the consensus and giving the estimate rather than fabricating it alone, right? So that is very good. Teamwork is very good. The activity motivate people to do think about product backlog item. शुरू में उनको पूरा product backlog समझ में आ जाता है, right? Team coming out with some valuable idea to reach consensus. Planning poker facilitates the discussion on the product backlog item. So this planning poker के साथ क्या होता है, पूरे टीम को आपको समझ में ओवरऑल आइडिया आ जाता है कि करना क्या है और इसको कितना टाइम लगेगा, कितना एफर्ट्स लगेगा, और डिस्कशन भी हो जाता है. Since the planning poker activity is based on discussion, it provides a better understanding, resolve queries as the team members share their input on the product backlog items. Also, the team members got size estimates on the product backlog items, and they must have repeat a good return on the team's investment, right? So this is they know हमें इतना काम करना है, we need to work hard, so they will really will do their job best. Okay, planning poker सिर्फ करना है, we have to do that compliance mode में, they will not do just for the completion purpose, but rather they will think of कि ये हमें ही करना है, why not to do it correctly with the accuracy. That way the efficiency will be, team efficiency will be increased. Planning poker is an engaging act and productive approach for estimating the user stories. As the activity is all about the discussion, not only it is painless for the team members to arrive at the consensus, but also provide a wide view for implementing a user story at a hand. तो उसको पूरा व्यू भी आ जाएगा. So वो अलग से वो ट्रेनिंग वगैरह करना पड़ेगा, वो that we need not to do. एक्टिविटी करते करके टास्क भी हो जाएगा and the learning like understanding भी उनका हो जाएगा, right?